babies. So I'm going to take these guys down by the river. This will be a brand new adventure. Come on, loves. Come on, babies. Come on. Come on, littles. Come on. Come on, babies. Let's go. Follow Daddy. Come on, littles. No, Huck. Not from up there. You're going to fall. Come down the trail, Huck. It's only going to get worse. Okay. No, sir. You don't come down there. All right. This looks very ticky-tack, but I used some metallic zip ties just to latch onto it. I'm going to pull it out of this pasture. And depending on how well it pulls, I may go ahead and just drag the pastures today using it like this. Let's hope that no one sees me. It is early. So between you and me, no one else will ever know how ragtag of an operation we actually run here at Longhorn Lester's. Huck, do you not see how far the drop off that is? Leonard, y'all scared me. So this is my prayer place, Huck. This is where I come and talk to God and talk to people on the internet, which sometimes feel like talking to God. Morning, folks. Lester here, and I'm sitting with my Fiona and Millie. I've come out to Longhorn Lester's very early because we have a guy coming today who's going to fill up the propane tank. It's very low. And so we noticed last time that it was down to a really low number. So we called, and the lady said that the guys have been working starting early in the mornings, trying to do it before it gets hot. So she said they can be here at 6 o'clock. And I'm like, 6 o'clock? I said, okay. So here I am at 6 o'clock, waiting for those guys to show up. But 6 o'clock is early. It's funny how active the babies are, though. The puppies. Oh, cats and dogs, y'all. Cats and dogs. It's the way people have been fighting lately, like cats and dogs. Been talking about it a little bit. We're very excited. You can see from the ground that we got a little bit of rain yesterday. Yeah, I checked the rain gauge. I wasn't here, but I got a message from Mr. Pete. And he said, have you seen what's happening outside? I'm like, no. I said, I'm in Plum Grove. What's going on over there? He goes, it's raining. And man, I was excited. And so getting over here this morning, first thing I did was check the rain gauge. And we got about ½ an inch of rain yesterday afternoon. Which that's perfect, y'all. That's perfect. It won't take a whole lot to get this grass to come back out. It's still alive. It's just no water. It didn't do much for the pond, but when you see puddling like this, you know you got some rain. So this morning I had to come down and open up the service drive. This is the service entrance, and we like to use this side of the driveway for folks that can't fit under there. Yep. Now that I have the four-wheeler out, I'm going to go ahead and do a little job I was telling y'all about recently with those extra panels. Mr. Huck, buddy, you're not going to be able to ride up there. I know it's fun and all, but you're going to get yourself hurt. Can you go ahead and jump down for me, little buddy? Can you jump down for me, little buddy? You're being a great leader, Huck. You're being a great leader, but you don't want to lead your flock into danger, and that right there is very dangerous, buddy. I need you to jump down for me, okay? Without falling down. All right? Please, I got work to do. I'm going to hook on to those. Lenny, don't think about it, Lenny. I'm going to hook on to those extra pieces of cattle panels that we have over there and use them to drag that pasture, drag all that manure out of that pasture. Mr. Huck. Well, I'm going to have to get him down, friends. Give me a second here. Come on, buddy. Dad don't like to pull you off. I want you to jump off on your own. See, there's nothing fun to do up there. Nothing to eat, nothing to smell, nothing to nibble on. See? It's boring. Everyone's like, look at our leader. Our leader's so brave. Yeah, he's a brave boy. Go ahead, Mr. Huck. Lenny, I said there's nothing to do up here. This is a boring place to play. This is not even a place to play. So I'm going to have to drive. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Huck, for being a good boy. Thank you for realizing the errors of your ways. Lenny, follow your leader and get down, Leonard. Thank you, Lenny. All right, friends, let's move on. So these are those panels that I was referring to recently, the ones that came from McCoy's that are no good. Guys, look at the before and the after. So you got to drive it over the top of all the cow patties. Cow patties is what we call them. These are here. We'll kind of blend them into the round around. So the goal of what we're hoping to do is sort of just kind of speed up the natural decomposition process. It doesn't look real pretty to have multiple piles of cow poop out in the pasture. Over time, you know, cow poop will be broken down, and as it rains, it'll all kind of work itself back into the soil. But what we can do when we drag like this is take that same cow pod or cow pile and kind of spread it around a little bit. It'll help it decompose a whole lot faster and fertilize the soil around it. So I'm going to make several more pools through here. I'm not going to bore you guys with the details of this. We do have the harrow at the other property that works out real good. It's a fast attach. It hooks up real easy. It drags smooth. I need a harrow to clean up the poop and all the wire. 'Cause it's... doesn't tear your grass up, but this over here is doing a pretty good job as well. You can see where there was a cow patty and now there's not, and so I think that you get the idea. It's only about a 4-foot drag, so it's not the best of width. I think the other one's probably 6 foot wide, but hey, it's working. We're improvising and it's working. All right, so that's that. I got all that flattened out and smoothed out, and it looks a whole lot better out there. Now I'm going to take these goats down by the river. They've never walked down to the river before. I'm going to call them, see if they'll follow me. And this ought to be a really neat adventure. You guys stick around. This ought to be a lot of fun. Come on, littles, let's go. Trail, guys, give me a second. Sheesh. What are you doing over there? You're going to hurt yourself. Come on, littles, over here. They can't find the trail. Come on, babies. Come on, babies, come on. Come on, loves. Come on, Huck. Come on, Huckies, come on. Come on, littles. Come on, littles. Let's go. Come on, babies. Follow Daddy. Come on, Huck. They don't quite get it. They don't understand about this trail right here. Come on, buddy. Goats. Come on, goats. Come on, goats. Come on, goats. Come on, goats. They're not going to come to that. Come on, littles. Let's go. Come on, babies. I'm going to drive and see if they do. Come on, babies. Let's go. They're finding a lot of green stuff to eat. Look at that hillside full of green. Where are the littles? Come on, littles! Oh, no. Do not come down that way. Come down the road. The path that I took. That's a 30-foot drop off. Littles. Well, Mr. Huck, as far as the leader's not really working out real well as far as this goes. Huck, don't even think about that, buddy. There's an easier way. The road is an easier way. Come on, babies, over here. They're not coming. Where's Huck and Lenny? What are you guys doing over there, weirdos? You're going to get yourselves hurt. Huck, do you not see how far the drop off that is? Leonard, y'all scared me. So this is my prayer place, Huck. This is where I come and talk to God. And talk to people on the internet. Which sometimes feel like talking to God. Boy, they're loving this little excursion. Leonard, that is a very steep drop off. I do know that goats can do stuff like this, and they love stuff. You know, they love these kind of games. But could you imagine rolling down that thing? Oh, they're having a great adventure this morning. This is a great adventure. They're eating on everything. They're taking bites of everything. Please be careful, Mr. Huck. Please be so careful. So what I wanted them to do was go down there with me to the river and explore down over there. But that didn't happen. They like to be on the hill, which is fine. Oh boy. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. I was told to be here at 6 o'clock to open the fence for the gate for those fellas. Yeah. So I've got a few things done in these 2 hours. I let the goats out for a walk. I rake the pastures. I fed the bigs. And, but I hate that. People say we're going to be there at 6. Which I thought that was sure early, man. It's so early. Oh, I've also played with these puppies. I did play with the puppies quite a bit. But I didn't do any of my chores over at I'm a Survivor. And unfortunately, I'm getting messages now from Joanne and Shelby. And they're both saying that Moo's out. Moo and Annabelle's out. So now I'm kind of in a pickle. I gotta be here to let those guys in to fill up this. But it sucks because I have animals that are out over there. And don't start saying, Lester, just call Jake. Jake can handle it. No. If Jake could handle, never mind. I've already asked Jake to handle it. So I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated, y'all. But at least Joanne and Shelby are the ones that saw Moo, not some stranger a mile down the road. I just hate that Joanne and Shelby have to go through all that, because that's Moo is ours responsibility, not Joanne and Shelby's. Well, looky here. This looks like the signs of a wild animal. There had to have been some kind of wild animal here last night. You can see it was doing all kinds of digging. It was probably burying a bone. Some kind of a wild, yes, it had to have been something wild. Come up, listen, whatever it was, it came right into the yard. This wild animal came right into the yard. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Seriously? All right, the moment of truth. This is the guy we've been waiting for. And I am wondering if he'll be able to get up the main drive. That'd be a lot easier, but he may have to do the service drive. I'll get off and talk to him for a second and see what his thoughts are. So we will have to be using the service drive. He'll have to come around and swing out wide to make that. That's 12 foot wide. That's plenty wide. Driver knows what he's doing. And that right there, my friends, was the entire intent of having a service drive, so we can still keep the big trucks off of our driveway. That works out good. All right, time for some real talk. Guys, as much as I hate to admit it, Lester's having a little bit of a hard time pulling out 50-pound bags of feed from the bottom of these barrels. I brought the barrels over. I thought they'd be a great place to store the feeds, keep them out of the moisture, keep them away from the critters. But I'm finding it harder and harder to reach in there some days and pull those heavy bags out, putting a lot of strain on my back. So what I've done, I brought the pool container from the yard. This is what we use to hold all of our pool supplies. And I'm going to fit this into my barn and start putting my feeds inside of there. I think they'll be just as secured, and it'll be a lot easier for me to bend down and reach or scoop from there than those barrels. So I just cut all of the netting off of this roll of hay. This is that feed store hay. I should have cut it before I set it down, because I cut the entire top off, but I could not get around the bottom. So the bottom still has a little bit of string sitting there. But whenever I move it, I will pick that up. Look how easy it all comes and ties together though. Very unlike the strings on the hay we get over there. I did come by and cut the tops of all of them so they can't get tangled up around Texas horns or feet. This is kind of a neat comparison. This is how much string holds that roll of hay together. That's how much netting holds that roll of hay together. Now, I guess if you look at it as far as terms of resources, it takes a whole lot less of this to hold a roll of hay together than it does the net to hold that one together. But, which is probably why the rolls of hay that have the string are cheaper, because it actually costs less to keep them bound. I got a good sweat going, y'all. I got a good sweat going. So I have one barrel for trash over here. This is my trash barrel. That's my trash barrel, and it's sealed. So I left 2 barrels over here for who knows what. I do have them sealed, so there's no way the animals can get the tops off of them. But inside my actual feed container, it's real simple. I have a bag of feed. That'll last me 2 days. I have a square of alfalfa, which will last me 2 days. And then my feed bucket. I'm going to keep it simple, y'all. Listen, my goal is to keep it simple here. I don't want to complicate things. Keep it simple. Anyway, everything's nice and cleaned up. Looks really good. And you know what I'm going to do before I leave today? Just to make you all happy, I'm going to go cut me a corral board, a 10-foot corral board, and put it across here on both sides, just to make you all happy, because I've been putting it off for so long. And what else am I going to do? This here is something that Jake taught me. Something they do in Afghanistan and third world countries. If you knew how ridiculous this looked. If you only knew how ridiculous this looked. I think that there's what you guys have been asking me to do for a while. I think that right there is what y'all have been asking me to do for a while. Guess what, friends? It's done. It's 10 a.m. Guys, it's been a long day. Seriously, it's been a long day. I'm gonna sit down and talk to you for a minute. I started the video off talking about how people have been so mean lately. Cruel, just saying really mean things. And all right, I got me a drink. Popped off my hat to let it cool off a little bit. Guys, I will be the first one to admit that when I purchased this new property, I did not think about how much time it was going to take away from I'm a Survivor. It's not just the little drive back and forth. It's the fact that there's jobs that need to be done here. And then when I'm not here, I worry about what's going on while I'm not here. We've had a couple of goat escapes. And man, that is scary when you're back at the other house and you get a phone call from your neighbor telling you your goats are out. Because it's not like we're just right down the road. And so I've been trying to invest so much time here and make sure that everything here is in order. And I'm trying to make the place as beautiful and, as I can. And I really do love this place and what it's shaping up to be. But at the same time, when I get these texts like this morning, I'm over here early waiting for the propane guy, and I get a text from Joanne and then from her neighbor Shelby, both saying that Moo and Annabelle are out. Then it's like a slap in the face saying, Lester, wake up. You over here trying to beautify and fix up one property, and the other one is falling apart on you. And it's not anyone else's job, y'all. It was Lester that took on this responsibility of taking care of these animals and bringing in the rescues and offering the forever home. And so I cannot put the weight of all of that on someone else's shoulders, despite if it's a part-time job or if it's a video making opportunity. It falls on my shoulders. And a lot of y'all have been calling that out lately, and a lot of other things. Jamie said it in her live last night that there's a lot of stressed out people with the price of gasoline and the wars and rumors of war and store shelves being empty, the heat, the drought, or in some parts of the country and the world, just too much rain, just the climate in general. And people are stressed out, and sometimes stress leads to anger that I don't think you really feel towards somebody, but little things can kind of get you going. So all I can do is sit here and say that I give you my word. I see what you see. I see the problem. And I'm still in that learning curve of trying to figure everything out, y'all. I am still in that learning curve of trying to figure out and balance both properties. I do not regret for a minute the fact that Tex now has peace. For the first time in his 4 years, he's finally at peace, true peace. And the little goats that are here, yeah, we've had a few breakouts, but man, they're loving life and they're eating good and they're living their best life. But I give you my word, I'm not going to give up on either property. I'm going to have to just, at some point, just kind of do a mental assessment of what's what and devote some time to getting those things fixed and put back together. But thank y'all for being supportive and being understanding of that. And try to just keep it kind. I am trying, but it's still a work in progress. So anyway, we're going to figure it out, guys, and you guys just try to be patient in the meantime. And in your own life, I know that there's things that no one can help you with. We just got to figure out, and one step at a time. But keep the faith, y'all. And just like anything else in your life that affects you, and when all that adversity comes pouring at you, just one step at a time, everybody. One step at a time. But I promise you, negativity will get you nowhere. But trying to find things to be positive about. Find things to appreciate, find things to laugh about, find things to make you smile, find things to help you escape. Because you know what? If you don't watch the news today, I promise you the world will still be here tomorrow. And if you don't watch the news the next couple of days, I promise you wake up and the world will still be here. And I'm a Survivor will still be here. And so will Longhorn Lester's. And I'm going to still be here, and Jamie's going to keep here, and we're all going to keep chugging along, everybody. Okay, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for loving and supporting us.
let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.